Oh, that's right. Okay. Do we have all our...
Corey Woods. Mayor. There we go. And then we need Corey.
I think I'm pretty.
We're almost there.
I gotta change up the loader. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. I'm so excited and delighted to be back in Phoenix. I was sharing my experience 14 years ago when, as a young campaign staffer clutching a MapQuest document, I turned up at the corner of Central and Thomas where I was supposed to work and kept double checking my map, wondering if I was at the right spot. And coming back to downtown Phoenix, literally unrecognizable in many respects with all of the growth and all of the transformation that's happened here. And so much of that has been the result of wise public investment and leadership from some of the people I'm joining now. So it's so exciting to come full circle, to be with fellow mayors like Representative Stanton, who once a mayor, always a mayor, and was of course part of that vision. My longtime friend, Mayor Kate Gallego, who is continuing to do remarkable things here. Representative Gallego, who it's also great to be reunited with. And of course, Mayor Giles, Mayor Woods, who are really modeling both working across the aisle and working across municipal boundaries to actually get things done on a regional basis, which is indispensable to progress on infrastructure. I'm thrilled to be here with representatives from so many labor unions. We've got carpenters, we've got laborers, transit workers, operating engineers, and the entire country, first of all, owes these essential workers a debt of gratitude for everything that they've done to keep our country running. And we're also so excited about the job creation opportunity that's in front of us. Over 2,000 years ago, this area was settled by the Hohokam peoples who built over 130 miles of irrigation canals, which at the time made this the largest body of irrigated land in the Americas. And I loved learning about that because I think it's a reminder that infrastructure has always been elemental to the story of this region. And now we are seeing infrastructure that makes life possible in this area on a whole new basis. We just came out of a very instructive briefing and a hands-on tour of the South Central Light Rail Extension Project, where in the next few years this area will see 8 new stations helping to connect residents to jobs, to education, and to resources, which is especially important when you consider that South Central Phoenix is home to more people of color and fewer households with cars than other parts of the city. It's a neighborhood where 20% of those in the community are living in poverty, but with access to good and clean and affordable transit, we know that we can change that. So it's why this project is so important, and it's why we're delighted that earlier this year our Federal Transit Authority committed $500 million to help bring light rail service to the people of South Mountain Village. And we recently recommended another $158 million in funding through our Capital Investment Grant Program to help finish this project and build Phase 2 of the Northwest Extension. Now, this is one example of the public transit needs in this area and across the country that we are so focused on rightly as an administration, as a country right now. Valley Metro received millions of dollars to keep things running through the American Rescue Plan and other COVID relief funds. And I want to thank Representative Stanton and Gallego for their support for that. And this was so important, especially for the essential workers who, again, did not have a choice in keeping transit running. Now is a time when we need a generational investment in infrastructure. And that investment is arriving in the form of the President's American Jobs Plan, the core of which is contained in the historic bipartisan deal that was just announced. It stands to create millions of good-paying union jobs, most of which available, by the way, to workers whether they have a college degree or not. And it contains the largest investment in public transit in the history of our country, so that agencies like Valley Metro can make long overdue repairs and expand. It's also got the largest investment in passenger rail since Amtrak was created, the largest investment in roads and highways since the Eisenhower administration, clean energy transmission, lead pipes, a better grid, universal broadband, and so much else that we need in this country. And importantly, 40% of the benefits of climate and clean infrastructure investments contemplated here will go to underserved and overburdened communities, including neighborhoods like those around South Mountain. So we're delighted to be here and help show how leadership can move us forward, opening economic opportunity. And later today, I'll have the honor of meeting with representatives from the Intertribal Council of Arizona to discuss how we can continue working together to improve infrastructure in Indian country. Later on, we'll be talking about safety and rural infrastructure, visiting the construction site for the upcoming Riggs Overpass for State Road 347 in Maricopa. A reminder of how much more we can be doing as a country to connect rural and tribal communities. Just as I close my opening remarks, I want to comment that it matters that the people of Phoenix and the people of this region made the decision to vote for and publicly support transportation, the decision to vote for the necessary revenue, recognizing that investments in transportation pay off, shows the kind of community awareness that we are hoping to back up with more federal dollars. The answers rarely come from Washington, but more of the resources should. And that's exactly what we have a chance to deliver with the bipartisan infrastructure framework and the President's Build Back Better vision. So with that, I have the pleasure of turning it over now to Representative Gallego.
Thank you, Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. It's great to have you back here. Thank you, Mayor Gallego, for timing the light rail car moving as he was speaking. That's some great PR there. It is a pleasure to be here to talk about the light rail going down South Central. It has been a labor of love for many of us here, including Mayor Gallego and former Mayor, and now my colleague, Greg Stanton. We have worked tirelessly for more than a decade to make sure that South Phoenix was not forgotten. And as a resident of South Phoenix, let me tell you, we are ready, we are excited, and we need this. South Phoenix is one of the few communities that was left in the Phoenix area that was clearly detached from the heart of Phoenix and downtown Phoenix. For many of my residents down there, they wanted to take part in the economic opportunity that downtown Phoenix, the rest of Phoenix, was able to give them. But because of poverty, but because of lack of even sometimes bridges to get over the river, they did not have that opportunity. We are finally fulfilling the Arizona dream, the dream that wherever you start is not where you should end up. Whether it is in South Phoenix or whether it is in poverty, you do not have to be there. And this light rail will help them move up that ladder, both in terms of through infrastructure, but also the infrastructure of opportunity. So that young man or young woman does not have to just go to high school, but now can travel down to ASU downtown. And hopefully when they want to get their medical degree, they can go to all the way up to Creighton University or down here to our medical campus here. This is the future that we want in Arizona. This is the future that we have worked with for a long time, and it has strong community support. Mayor Gallego, myself, and Greg Stanton were, I gotta get used to this, Congressman Stanton, talked extensively about the many meetings that we had down there with many community leaders who felt scared and anxious about this huge investment because many times they had been promised but nothing had been delivered, or something had been delivered but not for their community. This investment has been holistic in its approach. It has been talking to people from day one, and it has hired more than 1,000 people from the community who can travel there every day, work, and still go home at night, knowing that what they're doing and work is actually being invested by the community. I really want to thank Secretary Buttigieg for being here and for all of the investment he is doing in infrastructure in Phoenix and across the country and with the Biden administration, and in addition to making sure they are good paying union jobs and that return is equitable across the board in our communities. Thank you so much, and I hope we continue to grow on this. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce my good friend and colleague, Congressman Greg Stanton.
All right. Thank you very much, Congressman Gallego. It is an honor to be here. Thank you to Secretary Buttigieg for taking the time to visit the Phoenix and the Phoenix metropolitan area to look at what we've achieved so far and what additional investment that we're going to pass in Congress will do to help the lives of the people throughout, not just the Phoenix metropolitan area, throughout the state of Arizona, including our tribal communities. What a great time it is to be in Phoenix. We are 2 games away, 2 wins away from winning the NBA championship. And today, because of the investment made by President Biden and his administration and voted on by Congress, today people are getting in their bank accounts the child tax credit, $300 per child, $3,200, $320 if for children under 6. We're showing what strong governance, commitment to the people of this community can mean. I'm standing with great mayors and community leaders. I'm so proud of the way that they spent the American Rescue Plan resources to help this community get through the pandemic as best they can. And right now, we're talking about what new investment in public transportation infrastructure can mean for this community and for the American economy. No community knows that better than what we've seen here in Phoenix and the Phoenix metropolitan area. The Valley's light rail system has shown us that infrastructure is far more than getting simply from point A to point B. With the right investment, with smart investment, infrastructure can change lives. It lifts up entire communities. For so many people in our region, light rail has opened up new worlds, new opportunities. It's made it easier to get to a better paying job, to school, a training center, to the doctor, even to get to the grocery store. At the same time, it's giving so many small businesses a boost, especially in downtown Mesa. And it's been great for Arizona's most important economic driver, that is tourism. Voters in Phoenix, in Tempe, and Mesa, they know that. They know the power of great infrastructure investment. And now it's time for the federal government to do its part. That's one of the reasons why, after I was lucky enough to serve as mayor of this community, I did decide to run for Congress. I was frustrated that on Capitol Hill, it seemed too much disconnected from reality, too distant to understand how important infrastructure investment can be. It's why I pushed hard to serve on the Transportation Infrastructure Committee. And we are finally on the brink of doing something big, delivering for the people of Arizona. And I'm grateful that Secretary Buttigieg has been a steadfast champion for this major investment. And I appreciate the fact that Arizona has been and will be a strong ally in getting the job done. Here's what infrastructure investment can mean for Arizona: expanded mass transit and light rail for the Valley Metro system, modernizing our airport, including Phoenix Sky Harbor, our state's most important economic engine, getting the ball rolling on building I-11, an essential highway to connect Phoenix and Las Vegas and develop one of the most important international trade corridors, building essential new roads and highways on our tribal lands to build a stronger economy and a healthier future for all Arizonans. And most essentially, better water infrastructure for rural communities. Modernizing water systems to become more resilient in the era of rapid climate change and drought is a all-hands-on-deck situation. And although the state of Arizona isn't doing its part, I believe the federal government can and should step up even more. That's what we're talking about when it comes to great infrastructure investment. Tangible projects that can change people's lives for the better, strengthen our economy, and help us better take on the challenge of the future. And I'm hopeful that in the next few weeks, we're going to get something done. We've approved in the House, we've approved a 5-year, $715 billion plan. I'm optimistic that the Senate will get something done in the near future. Our nation needs it, Arizona needs it, and I won't stop working until we deliver it for the people of Arizona. And next to the podium is someone that I've had a chance to work closely with when I was mayor and she was on city council. She's done an incredible job now in her time as mayor, particularly on the issue of supporting public transportation investments. And when they came at light rail, she defended it and defended it big time. And the voters of Phoenix overwhelmingly supported continuation of this smart investment in South Central light rail. Mayor Kate Gallego.
Thank you so much, Congressman Stanton. We are lucky to have someone with such local government expertise on the House Transportation Committee, and we are also lucky that we have you fighting for Arizona and infrastructure, along with Congressman Gallego, also a veteran of the city of Phoenix, and someone who is so passionate about equity and making sure that our community gets its fair share of investment. I am excited to welcome back my friend, who I still think of as Pete, so I'm going to have to adjust to the Mr. Secretary. We met freshman year of college and both worked together here in 2004 when Proposition 400 was on the ballot. I'm excited to be joined by Eric Anderson and the leadership of the Maricopa Association of Government, who has been working so hard on a plan that will be the next generation of a regional transportation plan, which will go to our voters soon at the Maricopa County level. The plan that we are implementing right now was created with a bipartisan partnership, and the plan that will go to the voters in the future was also done on a bipartisan basis. Mayors voted unanimously across Maricopa County to move that plan forward. I think that's a good message for our country right now. Infrastructure may be one of the key areas where we can come together on a bipartisan basis and move our country forward. We need to reclaim America's national leadership in terms of infrastructure investment. We are doing it in Maricopa County, and I'm optimistic that the United States Congress can do the same. Mayors have come together across party lines. We had 369 mayors who signed a letter supporting the bipartisan infrastructure framework, including many great leaders in Maricopa County, Mesa Mayor John Giles, Maricopa Association Government Chair at the time, Wires, now succeeded by Mayor Giles, as well as Mayor Woods, who is here with me today. Mayors agree we have to invest in American infrastructure to move forward. That's one of the many reasons I am grateful that we have the former mayor of South Bend serving as our Secretary of Transportation. He understands that each community has different needs. Ours here we're highlighting today is the great investment in South Central and making sure every part of our city gets part of that $14 billion that we've seen in investment along the rail corridor. It's a different need than they may have in South Bend, but the bipartisan infrastructure framework can help us all come together and meet our community needs. Our members of Congress are working hard to make sure that Arizona voices are heard in Washington, D.C., that we get the great investments in our water system, our transportation system, our airports. It's a very exciting bill that could be moving forward, and I'm feeling ever gaining momentum. Speaking of momentum, I want to encourage everyone who's going to see the Suns win on Saturday. Your ticket is a light rail pass. So ride the rail and help cheer the Suns on to victory in that area. I also want to recognize the incredible individuals who are helping build the South Central extension as well as the rest of Phoenix. The Secretary did recognize some of them. The laborers have really been leading the way in hiring local. They set a goal to hire people who are along the corridor and have almost doubled that goal. That's important and has led to some really inspiring moments. I got to learn about one individual who had been working as a desk clerk, then got hired on to the South Central Rail Project. It was such a jump in salary for him that he and his wife decided they would have their first child. And that just shows how much infrastructure investments change every individual life. These are great jobs where you can build a family and really have that next generation succeed. Especially meaningful on today, which as Congressman Stanton mentioned, is Child Tax Credit Day. This is about our future. We're getting kids to school on this and to more opportunity. And it is very, very exciting. I get the pleasure of introducing a mayor who thinks a lot about youth, education, and infrastructure altogether. He is the chair of the Maricopa Association of Governments now. Please welcome Mayor Giles.
Thank you, Mayor Gallego. It really is, I feel quite fortunate to be here. I was actually just standing in line hoping to get a ticket for Game 5. So I'm delighted that a press conference broke out. Thank you very much, Mayor Gallego. Phoenix and Mayor Pete, as knew him years ago, commented just a moment ago as we all sat around how remarkable regional cooperation is in this area, and as we rehearsed some of the great programs that have been so successful here. And that's something that I truly am proud to be a participant of as part of the Maricopa Association of Governments and as one of the light rail cities. I appreciate Mayor / Secretary Pete's visit to this community because it highlights the importance of partnerships. the federal and local partnerships, federal and state partnerships that have been so successful in seeing these projects come to success. And that is certainly, that's part of the reason why I'm here actually with bells on, is just to continue to tell the story that infrastructure and transportation are bipartisan issues. I am here because I am an enthusiastic supporter of the bipartisan infrastructure legislation that we're seeing in our nation's capital. That is the way that things get done in our community and in our country. So speaking of great partners, I am privileged at this time to introduce a friend and a partner in the East Valley and in streetcar and light rail and so many other projects, my good friend Corey Woods, Mayor of Tempe. Corey.
Thank you, Mayor Giles. It really is great to see everyone today. It's just nice to be able to see real people again. So I'm just super excited about that. And so good afternoon, Secretary Buttigieg and Congressman Stanton, Congressman Gallego, all of our fellow elected officials. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you about the importance of transportation for the city of Tempe and for our entire region. As the mayor of Tempe, we are home to many businesses, as well as the main campus of Arizona State University, which leads to a swell in transportation activity that results in a daytime population that is 70% greater than our census population. We're a landlocked community, so we only have the option to build up as we continue to grow in size. Our focus on sustainable development, density, and public transportation is central to our city's long-term planning. The city of Tempe truly sees the opportunity of transit and transportation investment as being the future of job creation and the availability of affordable housing. For example, the Tempe streetcar, a project funded in partnership with the federal government, will spur economic development growth in Tempe and the entire region. The streetcar initiative also enjoys the financial support of local businesses that have instituted voluntary self-assessments to contribute funding to this project. More federal investment in projects like the streetcar will bring both short-term and long-term jobs to our region, and they will be clean economy jobs. Mesa, our neighboring municipality, has partnered with us to explore the feasibility in expanding the streetcar from downtown Tempe into the city of Mesa. This expansion would span the public transportation corridor throughout downtown Tempe, ASU's upcoming 355-acre innovation corridor, known as Novus, and a 1.3 million square foot open-air shopping development to the Cubs Stadium, all the while linking industrial zones and creating opportunity for future affordable housing development. Tempe is living proof of the power of combining local dedicated funding, regional investment, and federal dollars, and even private dollars that increase transportation choice and affordable transportation options. Infrastructure investments that can produce jobs and strengthen our transportation network and eventually our affordable housing are so crucial to our continued growth. The time is now to deepen those investments, and doing that in collaboration with Phoenix, Mesa, and many other regional partners. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to share the importance of federal investment in our communities. We deeply appreciate the work of the U.S. Department of Transportation and the opportunity we have to move ahead to invest and create jobs in Tempe, Maricopa County, and throughout the state of Arizona. Thank you.
We'll do some Q&A. Before we do Q&A, we're going to do this. We're Arizonans. Shift in the shade.
Leadership.
Yeah.
Smart.
There we go. Now we'll take questions. Okay, Bram. No.
Sure. For Representative Gallego, Representative Stanton, the bipartisan bill is supposed to go to the Senate next week on Wednesday. Majority Leader Schumer said. Is it ready to go? Does it have the votes?
I have to look at the details. You know, everything is good in theory until it actually gets to, pen to paper. So I can't speak for the Senate, but at least for the House, we have to wait and see where what are the details of it.
As you know, the House passed an outstanding bill, the INVEST Act, $715 billion in new spending in transportation infrastructure over a 5-year period. We're waiting to see what the Senate does. We hope the bill's ready to go. We want that to pass as soon as possible so that we can get to a conference and get a bill that has the exact same language so both houses can pass on it as soon as possible. So Congressman Gallego, neither he nor I can speak eloquently about Senate processes. We are on the House side, the People's House, and we're very proud of the bill that came out of the House.
Good game. Thank you so much. See you guys. Good game. Good game.
With podium, without podium.
With the podium.
Okay, last one. Sorry. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, just hold on to that. All right, ready? Good? All right, airdrop, airdrop.